Hey there, this is Jamie with Harper Therapy, and I am here with Miss Tony, who has been working on the journey of the many seasons of life and developing and growing and getting to know ourselves. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the FOOBs.
The family of origin, and because it's Facebook, I'll say behaviors. Read the blog, it'll tell you what else it could mean. But so we talked, the first week was about values, the second week was about emotions, the third week was the boundaries, and now this week is continuing that getting curious about where some of this stuff comes from. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure people understand that this journey of life, it's not one. There's like journeys.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's constant work. It's like, even when I think I'm done, it's like, it might last for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I'm like, crap, here we go again. Another journey. Mm-hmm. And that's, I mentioned in I think the first video, that writing these blogs, I started counting, and I was like, and I only started counting from like when I was 20. I've had 7 journeys, 7 different times where I was like looking in the mirror like, something needs to change here. This isn't okay. And I know I'm going to have more, and I'm sure I've left some out. Mm-hmm. So, because I, asked my parents about high school and stuff like that and what I went through. And so, yeah, you're constantly evolving. You're constantly changing. So when you're getting curious about your emotions, and when you're getting curious about putting in the boundaries to protect those emotions and those values, I like to know the why behind things. So I like to understand, if you give me a task and you're like, well, go make this spreadsheet. Well, why? What do we need it for? How is it going to help us? Mm-hmm. So I feel the same way about knowing, okay, so why do I do this? Mm-hmm. Why do I yell when I have big emotions? What is that about? And then digging into the emotion and figuring out, oh, okay, it's mom guilt. That's cool. Okay, but why is my coping skill to yell about it? Mm-hmm. So I dig a little deeper, and it's your family of origin stuff. It's when you were growing up, you learn how to be in all of your relationships from when you're a kid.
Yeah. And it's interesting because our family of origin, all of us have family rules that are just as real as if they were posted on the refrigerator about asking for something before you borrow it. But there are unspoken family rules that are just understood. Yep. And even be able to identify what those family rules are. Maybe it's be perfect. Maybe the family rule is be happy. Maybe the family rule is emotions are dangerous. Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of family rules from our family systems that do impact how we engage life as adults, and recognizing what those are and if they're compatible with who you are today.
Right.
You may look at some family and be like, you know what, that rule is not for me. It wasn't good for me then. It's not good for me now. I think I'm going to mark that one off.
Yeah.
We don't need rule number 5 anymore.
Yeah, because it's never spoken about. It's never, and if you have more than one kid in your family, chances are you all interpreted those rules differently.
Yes, and speaking of like rules in the family, multiple siblings, I think there's the perfectionist is typically a role. The sick one can be a role. The caregiver can be a role. And there's a 4th one. Is it... it'll probably come to me near the end, but there are even family roles that are typical. So even identifying, the rebel, because that was me. Why did I forget that one?
How did you forget that
one? And so even identifying not only your family of origin, like rules and everything, but also the role that you had in your family of origin. Yeah. And it helps understand the reason why.
And it helps you see like why you were doing the things you do. I mean, I'm a middle child. And I know
right,
exactly. Yep, absolutely. So I know that there are certain things that there was so much going on that I was the middle child. So things just my parents were doing the best they can. I don't ever think like, oh yeah, they meant to really mess me up like this. No, this is, people are doing the best, which I think I need to do a whole blog on that too. The whole idea that people are doing the best they can. Because I do think that you're doing the best you can with the information you have in that moment, and that's what happened. But in that, this is how I learned to function in my adult relationships. And like Jamie said, maybe that doesn't work out so well for me. you know, as a middle kid, you know, my older brother and sister were like the loud, funny ones. And then I had a very sweet baby brother who's my mom's favorite. She's probably yelling right now that he's not, but he totally is. And we all know it. Like, again, the family rule, but this one is very much spoken. James is the favorite. But like in being the middle child and having the loud older siblings and the baby brother, I just learned I had to just kind of be quiet and be. As I grew up, I learned that was not who I am. I am not a quiet person. I am very outspoken. And so I had to kind of break out of that. And it was really hard for me to know that that was okay. That breaking away from my family role was okay to do, because this is all I knew. And that's how I thought that, well, people aren't going to like me if I break out of that.
Yeah, and I have one for you. Very traditional family, male leadership. And then this woman goes and has 5 boys. Now, if I am serving and caring for the 6 males in my home in those years, how is this girl not going to be insane? So taking a family rule that functioned and worked wonderfully for my family of origin, and then trying to put it on my family unit, it was not conducive for life. So we have to shift it up based on who we are and what our needs are.
The life we build, the family we build, and how that looks different.
But it's like sometimes we take that square peg and try to fit it in the round hole because that's what we know.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because change is scary.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's also constant. And it's always going to come up. So if you're looking to connect some of these dots of your actions and they're not matching and you're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, and you just know that you're waking up and looking in the mirror and you're not happy, give Harper Therapy a call. Get a free consult. Our number is 813-434-3639. Have a great week, guys.
Bye, guys.